Hey folks, welcome back to No Sleeps Garage. My name is Jim. We are in beautiful Plain City, Ohio. Had to stop at Der Dutchman, get some fat kid food. Austin and I just did the car show out here, which goes on basically every nice weather Thursday. It's absolutely amazing. You may, if you followed the Lucor channel at all, you may recognize this vehicle as the one that I drove during the 2022 Hot Rod Power Tour. I installed that sticker. Yep, worked real hard on that. This is the Austin's 1970 Pontiac LeMans. This has been through a couple of different things since the last time I drove it. Previously it was a drum brake car, now it is disc drum. You'll also notice we've got the honeycomb wheels, which honestly look pretty darn sweet. And there's a new engine underneath. We've got if I'm not mistaken, it's a 455. I will check with Austin to make sure. But she's all Pontiac powered, which means everything costs a lot. So just gonna take a little test drive, if you will. Moreover, I had the Vic out at the show, and Austin needs it tomorrow, so we just traded cars. So I'm gonna take the LeMans home, and I'll tell you a little bit about the drive. All right, now compared to the last time I drove this, the exhaust note has just gotten better. More displacement will do that for you. So this car and I have a pretty storied history. It was about 2,200 miles for Hot Rod Power Tour 2022. We started in Columbus, drove down to Louisville the first night, met up with some family, did a family thing in Louisville, and then took off from Louisville, headed to Memphis. It was 110 degrees in Memphis. It was so stinking hot. It was absolutely insane. So that track went from Memphis to Nashville to Hoover, Alabama, then Pensacola, finished in Atlanta. And then Austin and I drove back. He was in his AMC AMX, or his AMC Spirit AMX, and I was in probably the wrong lane. Yeah, so Austin was in the Spirit AMX. I was in this, and we stopped off in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, met up with Austin's dad. He stayed for lunch. I was really itching to get home, and on my way home, the fuel pump cracked in half. It was not fun, not ideal. We'll put it that way. But it is what it is. So that being said, broke down just outside of Florence, Kentucky. Managed to limp it off to a Taco Bell, where Austin ended up meeting up with me. I let him know I was having issues, and he hauled his way on up. We'll put it that way. And realistically, yeah, what ended up happening was we fixed it in a gas station parking lot, bought just a standard electrical fuel pump. I had wired it up to the battery with just a toggle switch, managed to toggle it together, and limp it home. but that was honestly a really fun trip. I had an amazing time. Hot Rod Power Tour was so cool. It was so much fun. I have been wanting to do it again, and I just honestly haven't. So 2 years ago I was sick. Last year I couldn't get the time away. So we didn't end up going, or I didn't end up going. Austin is still gone. I believe he took this one that year as well. I realized that I went the wrong way, so I am going to make sure that I can get myself home this way, because I don't know Plain City that well. Amazingly enough, I'm pretty sure I'm going a way that I can get home, but it's probably not the fastest way. So hey, there's that. But we live, we learn, we move on with life. Yeah, so when I figure out where I am, I'll get back to you. All right, cool. So I do know where I'm going. I was heading the right direction. Might not be the fastest way, but it's at least a way. And I realize why. I am on US 42 right now, and they have traffic cut down to 1 lane. So there is a automatic traffic telling traffic light. So that's the thing. Otherwise, I truck along. A couple of things that I've forgotten about with Le Mans. It gets hot in here, like real warm. I guess that kind of makes sense, but yeah. I will say the suspension feels much better than it did the last time I drove it compared to the Crown Vic. It feels very plated, it's very deliberate. There's not a lot of play in the steering, there's not a lot of play in the suspension. It's not rough, but it's not soft. Otherwise, the 3-speed automatic does pretty well thus far at 48 miles an hour, which the speedometer says I'm doing 60, so clearly some gearing differences there. But it's an old hot rod. What do you need to know how fast you're going for, right? I gotta say, I've kind of missed this car. I've missed the drive, I've missed the experience, I've missed smelling like gasoline. And on that note, I don't remember where the fuel gauge is. Well, it's up top, and it's got gas, so we're good. Alright. We're gonna pull on out here. We're gonna see what this baby can do. Little tiny mirrors do make this very entertaining, but the drive is a lot of fun. The blower fan is definitely just blowing hot air at my leg, and really at speed I don't have a tach, but it sounds like we're running somewhere around 2300, maybe 2700 RPMs at 70 miles an hour. So, the car still runs really well for a carbureted car. There's not sputters, there's not chokes. drive. Alright, and we got a Smoky up here, so because of which everyone has gotten into the left lane. No one is driving quickly, but GPS is saying I am doing 63 in a 70-mile-an-hour zone. Not really knowing how fast I'm actually going is a very weird feeling for me. Speedometer's saying 80 or bouncing between 78 and 82, and GPS is saying we're doing 65. But this is also a car that's not about the destination, it's about the journey. One of the things that I was thinking about is the Hot Rod Power Tour. At the end of this video, I'm gonna link to probably my favorite episode that we recorded, basically my favorite day, which was Atlanta Motor Speedway. Took 2 laps around Atlanta Motor Speedway in this car. And it was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life. It was absolutely amazing. I never realized quite how banked a lot of those turns are. I used to live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had been to Charlotte Motor Speedway. I had been out on the track for their Winter Lights show, and also my dad and I had done a tour where they ran the tour bus around the track, and I noticed that it was banked, but it's a lot different when you're behind the wheel and basically holding the wheel straight to make that left turn was pretty crazy. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. If you have the chance, please do yourself the favor, do the Hot Rod Power Tour. There's nothing like it. I forgot that how nice it is to have a radio. And driving over in the Vic, I was listening to some 9 Inch Nails and driving back. As nice as it is to listen to that Pontiac 455, well, it's not the same. Let's just call it what it is. And man, is my leg getting hot. There's an air vent down here, and it's just blowing. It's blowing and blowing and blowing. I don't know why this guy is not getting out of my blind spot, but somebody just wants to camp out on my door, and I'm not a fan. So we're gonna go a little faster, maybe get a little more air moving. This car just asks for people to stare at it, and then they either think it's one of 2 things. It's a giant pile of garbage because of the rust and the peeling roof, or they think this thing's a lot faster than it looks. So it gets a lot of looks. In summation, an amazing car, and if you stay out of the secondaries, you don't feel the power, but it's got the power when you need it. So thanks for watching. Have a great time. I'll talk to you soon. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, your barber, unless you're like me, then maybe not your barber. Anyone who might be interested, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.